Welcome to a C# tutorial. Today we're gonna learn how to make a typing game in Visual Studio using C# and Windows Form application. So we're using the 2017 version. You can use any to follow on this tutorial. Go to File, New Project, select Windows Form app, name it typing game. Make sure you save it in a location where you can find it later on, and click OK to start. Okay, so a couple of things. This is your main Windows Form canvas. There's the Solutions Explorer. Here's the properties. We need to change a few things here and there. This is the toolbox. If you can't see the toolbox, you can always go to View and then find the toolbox from there. So at the moment what we need is a couple of labels. So if we go to add a label here, we're going to copy and paste that one to over here. We need one more. We need this one here and then we need one more on the bottom. Okay, so if I click on that one, and then I can look at the properties. So in the text I can change it to correct 0. So correct semicolon 0. This one should be incorrect semicolon 0. This one I'm going to change it to word, capital W. This one is like an instruction, so we can change it to press enter to check the text with word. Okay. Right. Okay, so now let's go change the names of them. So a name of the component allows us to find that component in C# when we writing the code. So for example, this one is going to be called LBL write. This one will be called LBL wrong. So it's LBL is the short for label. This one is LBL word. Okay, and that would be the setup for now until we get our text box here. So now what I can do is I can select both of these by holding the control button and clicking on the word. So if you don't have any of them selected, so make sure you click on one of them first and then hold the control button and click on another one. That way you can select both. So it's a bit of a faster way to work, I suppose. You can go to the font option, select bold, and then let's make it bigger. So make it to like 28 so we can see what we are doing. So I'm going to move the word over there, make this slightly bigger. Okay, and then we will go here to change this one's text align to. So click on the text box, change the text align to center. So that way whenever the text is being written, it's in the center of the text box. Okay, so that would be, yeah, we can also add the title so it looks a bit nicer, I suppose. So we can say typing game ICT. Okay, so that way when the game is loaded, so at least it has got a custom title on it. So okay, all that is good. So now if I click on that, it's time to add the event. So the event windows are usually plugged into here. So inside the properties window, there's a little lightning bolt icon. If I click on that, I can start adding different events. So these are the events that can go on a text box. So each element have their own events that can bind to them. So if I click on the label, you can see what kind of events that can go in here. But what we're interested in is the text box. So the one that we need is called key up. So what we want to do is every time a word comes up, we want the person to type the word in there and they press enter. When the enter button is released, we want to check that word against the label that says word on the screen. So let's say check game, for example. Type in check game here and press enter. This is going to take us into the C# script. So in here we can start typing up what we need. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to declare some global variables here. So let's go and make a string array. An array is a variable that holds multiple variables inside of it. So we don't have to declare them individually, we can put them all into one group. So let's just make a few here, say internet, oops, say programming, did that wrong, nice, right, programming. So each quotation mark, inside the quotation mark the word is a string, so this is seen as a text to the program, so we can use them to be displayed to the label. Okay, so programming, let's go to say city, say coding, say sky, just some random words, anything that you want to put in here. You can even say your name in there if you want to. I'm just going to leave it as this for now, so it doesn't go off the screen. Okay, so next we are going to create a new random class called rnd equals new random. So this one, we are creating an instance of the new random class, so basically we will use this to generate a random number. This will help us to make the game slightly interesting instead of making it predictable. We're going to create two different integers called correct and incorrect. Okay. So make sure you frequently save your project, because one of the things I see a lot of students do is they do not save it, and then right until the end, if it closes by accident, you sort of just lose everything. Okay, so these are the variables that we need. We need the array, we need the random class, and then we need two integers. So these are the ones that's going to keep track of how many we got right and how many we got wrong. So under the initialize component line, let's go here and say LBL word. So see, now we can identify that one through the name LBL word, so it's a lot easier to write that and find that. So let's go to words. So now, for example, if I go here and type in 0, so it's going to go here to the array, find the first word, because arrays always start with a 0. So if I go click on start, it should say internet on it. Let's try and see. So see, it says internet there. So the idea is when I type in internet and press enter, it should update one or the other over there. Okay, so and then obviously if you change that to 2, so it's going to go 0, 1, 2, it should say more ICT on there. Okay, pretty neat. Alright, so inside of here we can generate a random number. Okay, so I can say here rnd.next, so we're going to generate a number between two different limits. So we got 0 is the minimum and words.length as the maximum. So the length is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 5. So if you add another one, it'll be 6, and then it'll be 7, it'll be 8, and so on and so forth. So if I go and start this app now, see, it just randomly picks one, although coding is all the way here. So close that and start it again. It randomly picks another one. So although that's number 1 here, then it randomly picks the first one. So it makes the game slightly more interesting. So now let's go in and program the key up event. So what we are interested in is we want to check if we press if we are pressing the enter key. So if the enter key has been released from the keyboard, then we check if. So text box 1 dot text equals lbl word dot text. Oops, keep doing that wrong. Okay, so right now what we're checking is when the when the enter key is released, if text box 1 and lbl word, which is the main, this one here where the string is going to be attached to, so if those two strings are exactly accurate, then that means that we have typed it in correctly. So we can then add 1 to correct, so by saying correct plus plus, and then of course we can copy and paste that line here to then generate another word. And we will also need to say text box 1 dot text equals to null. So we empty the text box 1 so the player can play the next bit. If that is not correct, then we're going to still do the same things here, except we're going to say incorrect plus plus, and then obviously the same two lines there, because we still need to generate another random word to it and show it on the screen. Okay, and right after that we've got that's absolutely perfect. So before we finish it off, we also need to now link those two incorrect and incorrect to the LBL right and LBL wrong. So LBL right dot text is going to be equals to correct space plus correct. So that's been linked. LBL wrong dot text will be equal to incorrect plus incorrect, and that's it. So every time the key is released, it will update those labels. So you can see all. So this is the so this is the code so far. So we have the array with 5 different ones here, and then once we run it, I'll add a couple of more and then see if that works. Then we have random class that's going to help us generate a random number between 0 and the length of this array. We have 2 different integers, one for correct, one for incorrect. Inside the form load option, we will change the word to a random word from here. And then obviously we have the check game key release key up event that will check for when the enter key is released, and inside of here we'll check if the text box 1.text is equal to the label word label. If so, we add one to the correct, and then obviously we generate another one, empty the text box. If not, we add one to incorrect, generate another word, and then empty the text box again and update the LBL right and LBL wrong. So far it looks good. Let's try it out. Okay, so let's say for example this is sky. So let's type in sky, press enter. Nice. So see, the correct is updated here, incorrect is not. So if I type in internet, press enter, correct is updated. So if I type in banana nana, sound like a minion there, but okay, press enter. Now correct is still 2, but incorrect is updated to 1. So then I go to sky, programming, more ICT, and then I just touch on the random, again random. So it still does everything correctly. So the best part of doing this programmatically is that we can always go back to add more things to it. So for example, I can add a chair to it, I can add a marbles to it, I can add the word puzzles to it. So now it will still run exactly the same way because it's not looking for a set number. So whatever the length of this is, it will still find ways to so let's see if then any of the new ones come up. So see, the puzzles already come up here, codings come up, okay, codings come up again, internet, ICT, coding, programming, chair. Okay, so as you can see, you can add your own. I think one of the ways you can make this game more fun is if you add a timer and have a set timer to get the words, as many words right as possible. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this. The code is going to be available on the MooICT website, so make sure you go grab those, and then I'll see you in the next one.